It's a big weekend that only happens every 25 years in St. Anthony, Indiana. St. Anthony is celebrating their Sesquicentennial. Hello and welcome to WJTS in.form. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Joining me in the studio are two gentlemen who are working with a large committee, a great group of people in St. Anthony to put this event on. That is Scott Uebelhor and also Tom Boehm. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us, Bill.
Now, first of all, let's point out that we always have you on this time of year because it's the Fireman's Fest in St. Anthony, but this year it's something special.
This is our 25th time around since the last centennial. So we debated back in 2011 when to have an event, and we decided that in a community our size, it only made sense to have one big event rather than two smaller events, diluting them and wearing the people out. So we replaced our Fireman's Fest this year with the Sesquicentennial event and expanded it to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and actually the whole week instead of just a one-day event.
All right, now how did things get rolling for the 150th celebration? That had to do with the mural, maybe?
Yeah, that's kind of where we started with the mural. The museum has got murals from all the small communities in Du Bois County, and we contracted with them and the artist to do a mural for St. Anthony, and we dedicated it about 2 years ago, and that was kind of our kickoff to some of the events that we were going to have in relationship to our 150th celebration.
Okay, now St. Anthony's 150 years old. Let's talk a little bit about the history, and then we'll talk about the big festival coming up.
I guess some of the history, it really kind of revolves around the church. The church was developed back in 1864 through some donated land, and as the church grew, the community grew. The small communities in the rural areas were all trading centers, so there was quite a few industries, quite a few businesses, anything from entertainment, the taverns, and the blacksmith shops, and whatever else would come into the trading centers kind of were established in all of the small communities, and St. Anthony was not alone. One thing that helped develop St. Anthony was the railroad. The railroad came through, it delivered products, it shipped products, it also delivered the mail, so that was one of the earmarks in St. Anthony is the railroad. So there are just a lot of small things that evolved over the years to develop the town of St. Anthony, St. Mark's area.
Okay, now this Thursday, things get kicked off in St. Anthony as it's the 150th, the Sesquicentennial. Let's talk about maybe what's the week-long or the weekend long of events.
Well, we kind of started Sunday with the bishop and a mass, and then we had the Queen's contest and the Little Mister contest, which was really a lot of fun. Listening to little kids and juniors and seniors in high school respond to different questions on the fly. It was a lot of fun, so we enjoyed that. So Thursday we're going to kick it off as we did in 1989. We'll have a parachute jump, so they're going to 3 parachutists from Indianapolis going to come and drop a large parachuted American flag, and we're going to have the veterans, the Boy Scouts, and the Girl Scouts involved in that program. We'll land that flag flat on our pole, and that'll kind of be our opening, because it's only fitting that we even have the opportunity to celebrate this event thanks to our veterans and our future leaders like the Boy and Girl Scouts. So we'll start that on Thursday night. A beer garden will open. We'll have entertainment right after that with the Recycled Teenagers and local groups and organizations, or local groups and bands that will participate until about midnight that night. So Thursday is the first night, and kind of a dress rehearsal for all the people that have booths there to see how they can handle a medium-sized crowd, because we expect more as the week goes on.
Now, and also on Thursday night, I'm emceeing the Fashions of Old. Be appropriate to get somebody old to do that. And no, I wasn't around 150 years ago. So that's Thursday. Now,
that's Thursday night in the community center, so the people will be dressed up in the old garb, and there'll be family portrait and different types of awards for those families and groups of people that want to dress up and look like they did in the day.
And then Friday, is it starting Friday or Friday night that the event's going on?
We start Friday evening at go ahead.
Yeah, Friday evening pretty much starts around 5 o'clock. The food stands are open. We've got entertainment starting real early. We've got some kids games that actually go on Friday evening. So Friday is probably the big kickoff. Our major entertainment, Savannah Jack, which is a band out of Nashville, will have 2 performances. And in between time, we've got local talent, so we don't have any downtime. If the band takes a break, we've got some other entertainment going on. Right. All the food stands will be open. Of course, the beer garden will be open. So the Friday night is a big kickoff from the public standpoint, I guess.
And then Saturday we go all day long, from the light up of the grills at 4 o'clock for the barbecue contest, car show, motorcycle show, lots of events and opportunities for kids of all ages. And then during the course of the day, we'll have the judging of the car show at 3 o'clock. Chicken dinners will happen later that day. All the food stands are open all the time. So there's plenty to eat, plenty to drink, and plenty to do all the way through Saturday evening.
And there's also going to be farming demonstrations going on during the day in town. They're going to be doing some thrashing. They're going to be demonstrating different kind of farm machinery that they used back in the day. So that's all going to be going on throughout the day as well.
And you mentioned chicken dinners. Chicken dinners Friday and Saturday?
That's
right?
correct. So
Okay.
chicken dinners Friday and Saturday evening.
Okay.
And then all the other groups have every food, and I hate to even mention one, but turkey tenders, chicken nuggets, haystack potatoes, lemon shake-ups, you name it, from beginning to end. We started many years ago. We said, what are all the things that we might like to do? And we listed all those things. And we tried to bring as many of those things forward that we could. And it's going to be a heck of an event.
So there's going to be organizations from Jackson Township and other areas that are all pitching in to make this happen.
We have the Legion Community Center, the Conservation Club, Forest Park Youth Sports, Forest Park Band Boosters, St. Anthony Fire Department. All the church organizations are involved in one way, shape, or form. The Sesquicentennial will have a souvenir stand and raffle tickets. So yeah, we think we have a lot of bases covered.
And then on Sunday, that's kind of the wrap-up day, but that's going to be a big day. Sometimes people think Sunday, okay, it's the parade and that's it, but that's not the case.
Yeah, Sunday we actually start out with a bike ride that's going to cover the entire county. I think they're going to hit every community in Du Bois County with this bike ride. So it's going to be a pretty intense bike ride. We've got a mass with the Archbishop to kind of finalize the church celebration. Then later on in the day, we were going to have the parade. The parade lineup starts at 11 o'clock, and at this point, we've got right at 120 entries.
Wow.
And we're not done. I mean, we'll accept entries throughout up until the time of the parade. So the parade starts at 1 o'clock. After the parade is over, the judging, then they're going to do the beard judging and beard shaving. Satisfy some of the women's wishes since the started.
Awfully scruffy.
Yeah, the guys started back with the Brothers of the Brush back in February is when they started. They had to start clean shaven, and some of them are not clean shaven anymore. They're pretty bushy. So anyway, that takes care of it. And then around 4 o'clock or so, depending on timing, is when our closing ceremonies are going to be. But again, as you mentioned, the beer garden is going to be open throughout the day.
Yeah, and that's unusual for a beer garden to be open.
Yeah, very unusual, and I think there's some special things because it's like a temporary permit or whatever that we can do that, and we're going to offer that. And we've got other groups coming in, not only St. Anthony to do some of the stands and help us out as far as things, but we've got other groups from other communities within the area that are coming and helping us with the bartending and the gate watching and those kind of things.
Is there admission charged for anything?
No,
Or
there's no admission
everything
charge.
is free, you just buy what you're going to consume?
For most everything, it is free. Some of the barbecue contest has a $3 and a $5 bracelet for sampling.
Okay.
I guess really we're looking people to buy the raffle tickets, souvenirs, patronize all the different people that have come there and set up their food stands. There's a slight charge for the bike race. There's a slight charge for the 5K walk run. The cornhole's a slight charge. Very minimal. We tried to put on an event that was family friendly, free for the most part. We're not selling any buttons or anything like that. But we've been raising money and trying to do little things for since 2012. A little thing at a time to cover our entertainment and our insurance and all the little parts of what we have to do. So it's basically a free event.
Okay, and this all goes on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week.
That's correct.
What does the Sesquicentennial mean to the folks of St. Anthony, Indiana?
To me, right now, it's excitement. People are jacked up and ready to go. Last night, it wasn't mandatory to set up tents last night, but everybody is set up and finished today already. So we're a day ahead of time, and I think everybody's excited. Cooperation is the theme, I think, of the whole thing. Between, as Tom said, the neighboring communities have pitched into us. We'll reciprocate when their events are up in Schnellville and Celestine and St. Henry and all the different communities. We try to pitch into them also. So cooperation, I think, and just a general sense of pride in a little community that's going to pull something off pretty magical.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty magical this whole weekend.
Yeah.
Parking in St. Anthony, while St. Anthony's not a huge town, but there is special parking places.
Yeah, we had an opportunity to have the use of a field right across the street from the front of the community center, so it'd be just east of the community center. There's a farming family that gave us the opportunity to use that field, and we kind of planned ahead a little bit. Last year we sowed some wheat in there so we could use the wheat for some of the binding and some of the farm demonstrations that we're going to be having going on during the weekend. And they also put some clover seed down to kind of solidify the land. So we've got the use of about 4.5 acres. It's going to be lit. so it won't be a problem. The entryway is going to be different than the walkway, so we don't run into a traffic problem or a danger problem, whatever. Okay. Plus, we've got the lots just west of St. Anthony that have been provided by Hossenauer Motor Company, where they had the cars parked in those lots. So there's some grass lot there, there's some blacktop lot there. So hopefully we're going to have a lot of parking available. And then any place else that's available in St. Anthony. The church lot, school, St. Anthony's not that big, so it's not a big deal to park there and walk.
Right, you're not walking more than what it would be
couple
a
blocks.
block, maybe at the most.
Couple blocks
and the Legion has a nicely paved new area. So it should be a great weekend in St. Anthony, Indiana.
Well, we're sure looking forward to it. And again, as Scott said, we've had such great cooperation from everybody, the residents, the businesses, and it's just been fun. And I think everybody's just really ready to celebrate. You know, and it's a big event, 150 years.
All right, so congratulations to St. Anthony, which, by the way, 150 years ago, that was getting toward the end of the Civil War. To kind of give you a little bit of perspective of that, that here in St. Anthony, Indiana, they incorporated a new town right during the war, the big war in the United States.
Yeah, who knows what motivated the people to do that? You know, but they did it, and they did a good job of it.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in. Anything that you'd like to add?
No, thanks for having us, Bill, and we invite everyone to come to town. We'll have a good time. If you have any questions or people running around in lime green shirts, ask us. We'll point you where you need to go, and we'll have an entertaining weekend for sure.
Right. The information is available on our website, www.stanthony150.com. So all the schedules and everything are all right there available to you.
All right, St. Anthony's 150th this weekend. See you Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A great time in St. Anthony, Indiana. Thanks to our guests who are parts of I guess really you guys are associated with the St. Anthony Fire Department, but now you're on the St. Anthony Sesquicentennial Committee.
We're one half of the officers, and then we have a steering committee of about 20 beyond us. And our meetings were, years ago we had meetings, we had 10, 15, 20 people. The last one had like 85 or 90 people that are starting to come in and really getting jacked up and involved, so we're excited.
Everybody's part of St. Anthony. Scott Uebelhor has been our guest, and Tom Boehm, and we thank you for watching WJTS in.form. See you this weekend in St. Anthony.